Hello, friends. Hello, loyal audience. Hello, neighbors. Hello, everybody that I know and I don't know. Hello, world. Hello, world. That's one of the first programming written in a language. You know, you type that program and it produces Hello, world, right? Hello, world. So today is really a conspiracy theory, right? I'm gonna produce a conspiracy theory. It's a basis of a book that I am about to write. So this here, this here is your double ganger. That's your evil. That's your double right here. This here, well, this one is an old one, right? But the new ones are what you call, they're your the ones that do business on your behalf. That's influence your, I mean, influence your buying habits, influence your habits. It even produces a nano frequency that you cannot actually block it unless you really wrap it with aluminum foil, like number of layers and fold it and so on and so forth. But the most dangerous part, really, I mean, if you go into a store, it tells exactly where you're standing in that store and whether you're looking at food or appliances or whatnot, and then they gear the commercials toward that, and it even produces waves that influences your brain, and it reads the waves from your brains and so on. This here in the modern age, day and age, is very extremely sophisticated. If you don't believe you have a doppelganger, time to believe that. Why am I saying this? This here has an AI in it, right? And that AI is your personality. It's your secretary. It's your designated manager. It's your designated business caretaker, right? This here, uh, this here buys and sells in the virtual market. Like stock market, AI, you name it, right? It does on your behalf, and you do not even know it. You may have accounts somewhere. I worked in this bank a long time ago. I don't know, maybe 10 years, no, maybe 12 years ago or so. It's a very well-known bank, and later on there was a scandal. That scandal said that that bank has been opening accounts on behalf of Americans, and they do not even know it, right? And that raised their market. So you could have now you can call them if you ever learned about the scheme and scam. You can call them, but you won't get anywhere, right? Uh, so basically, they gotten away with it with like pat on on the back of the wrist, right? Pat on the wrist. Basically, if you go like stealing identity is a problem. Stealing identity will take you to jail for years. Or even stealing a candy. Some kids steal candies from the store and they take them to jail. But these guys stole trillions, right? And nobody knows about it, right? And they got away with it scot free. So why am I saying this, right? The reason I'm saying this is this here, like I say, uh, got to do with uh, AI, right? AI is a problem, and now it's in its infancy. Wait until it's fully fledged. You know, it will not distinguish between you and anybody else. What you're, it's an equal opportunity enslavement. Doesn't matter your religion. You could be one of the privileged few or one of the goyim many. Or doesn't matter. When this is fully fledged, you're a victim. That's it. It's gonna control you. If you saw that movie, uh, 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 The Matrix, right? I've done some commentary on The Matrix and how they connect a command wire in the back of the neck and in the body here and there and so on. So your movement is controlled, so is your brain, so is your blah, 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 blah. That pipe is this, really. And AI, really not just this, but it's AI, right? So AI is a problem. Now, when you're walking around, so this goes and votes and buys and does all kind of things on your behalf, and you don't even know it. You just go eat your potato and sit on your couch, watch your TV and wrestling program, whatever it is, and laugh and then lay in your bed and start snoring, and then you wake up next day, shit, and go about, and while this one is active, doing all that, you no longer have a decision on what to buy and what to sell and who to vote for, and right. This is what AI in your phone is. Now, here's the conspiracy theory, right? Whatever I said so far is really true, largely true, and it's becoming more sophisticated and honed, to actually it's fine grained, and it's a nano frequency. Let's say you cannot even block it unless you really wrap it with, and I will demonstrate that in a little bit. Uh, that said, if you're driving, right, if you're at home, this here needs to communicate with the cell tower, but the cell tower is almost not always government supervised, right? So government supervision, it's still a public place. Let's put it this way: public place means there are people there that work for the government and the Department of Homeland Security, which was closed for a long while, right, until they taken trillions and put it in, closing the government and closing the HS and those investors, uh, uh, you know, right? While you're paying $5 for gas because they want to force you to get off gas and get on electricity, right? Batteries and so on, and drive those rickshaws with batteries, right? So now those, if you're moving about, there's a problem, right? So there needs to be a network, a private network that is owned by non-governmental forces, right? The shadowy world, right? Of the mafia. Well, let's use the word mafia, right? So when you're moving about, there are cars that move about you, right? And they communicate with this here, and they track you, they extract files from it, they put files into it, and they upgrade things, and so on and so forth. Now this here says it has about, well, I don't know, 4 cores in the CPU and so on. How the heck do you know you don't have five cores in there? You see the point, right? And network that you don't know about, Bluetooth, forget Bluetooth, man. there are nano frequencies in there that cannot even be blocked by conventional means, right? So that said, those cars are moving about, right? You know, again, I'm in the conspiracy, right? And they need a lot of juice and power and batteries, big lithium batteries and electric motors to generate power and so on. And they're interrogating your phone, right? And controlling your phone and other things as well, right? And they're moving about all the time. These are subsidized by the government, right? I don't think anybody is ready to move from gas to electricity as of yet. I don't think that will happen. In fact, it's very obvious. And that said, uh, these are what's called mobile networks control stations, right? And they're subsidized. And those people, I think, I do not know this, but those drivers are employees by some, security agency or whatnot, not abroad, or let's it's that shadowy world, right? Such as the dark internet. There's nothing dark about the internet. Be careful what you put there. Uh, so that's it. Now there is AI, and AI is being brought into the cities, right? Now there's a problem with AI. For example, I learned of this AI project that is going to apparently start up and so on, and it has power of 1.8 gig, 1.8 gigawatt of energy. So 1.8 gigawatt, if you know that, you can check it out. Of course, here is like what, 5 watts, 10 watts, or whatever it is, and it's converted into heat because of the usage and right. And there's some wattage, your like 15 watts light bulb, those LED light bulbs, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's there. But what if it's 1.8 gig, right? And hard 1.8 gig, right? Generators and that's like small nuclear reactor. That's 1,800 million watts, right? Uh, that produces heavy EMF, right? Heavy EMF. The least thing you can get out of that is really loss of sleep, insomnia, right? It influences your nerves, right? Now, I know that. I watched one day a program abroad, right? And they were talking about this, this thing that is EMF, right? And they have measurement to it, and they say it causes you become melancholic, right? The least thing you do is become melancholic, and they were talking about like radio stations and stuff like that, right? And there is a doctor here in the United States. Uh, uh, he is well known on YouTube, right? I don't want to say his name. This is not an advertisement. But one day he said that he called an electrician and removed all the wires from the back behind his bed, right? And he started getting better sleep. Three, I myself, I live in Illinois, right, in the suburbs of Chicago. One day, long time ago, I was looking to like probably buy a house. And there's this house, right, on a street uh, in a city not far from here. I will tell you it's on 75th, right? And in a city that I used to live at. And then I looked at it, but then I wasn't comfortable. Why? Because there is like big transmission station or transformer station right next to it. I mean, it's really substantial. I didn't really think that was good. And it turned out that one of my old-time friends, which I don't see anymore, we talked. I mentioned it, and he said he talked about the same thing. And he's an engineer, and he said, I looked at it, but I didn't feel comfortable. Eventually, that house was populated. Somebody bought it. But then eventually, I don't know, 5, 10 years later, the house was torn down, right? What happened to it? I don't know. Why? Because apparently those who bought it and lived in it didn't stay for there for too long. It was like right next to that powerful emission, EMF emission, right? Now they tell you about acoustics and so on of the AI data center. I don't know about that. It's really the EMF as well as the EI that is the problem. Now, I remember a long time ago and I was watching an English program on TV. Whether it's in this country or ways back, I really do not recall. Maybe for over 45 years ago. This guy near the BBC transmission tower, right? He extended a wire, and that wire, right? And he put a light bulb in it, and it caught enough EMF to light up that light bulb. I kid you not. He was an Englishman. He was next to that BBC tower, and so on. This is no longer the case, I think, because now it's satellite based and so on and so forth. That is problem. EMF is a problem. If you're too close to it, it will cause you insomnia in the least. It will influence your nervous system. Worse still, you know what I'm talking about, right? You cancer up and so on and so forth. I'm not making this up. You can research EMF and powerful, dense EMF and so on. So this new AI data centers consume a lot of power, right? And they have generators and so on next to them. That's like nuclear reactors, small nuclear reactors, right? Emissions, EMF emissions and so on, and the air is flowed, replete with, choked with neutrons, electrons, you name it, right? All that electricity that produces in EMF, right? So you have to be at least, I would say, minimum, and I would not do that myself, 5 miles away from it, or 10 miles to be safe, 20 miles to be comfortable, like away from, from this whole thing. Now, I want to tell you something about, back to the conspiracy theory. The EMF is real. So when you research a data center, AI, whatever it is, right? Research the EMF to research the water. They use a lot of water and they dump the water back into the ground and so on and so forth. So I don't know about the water. But from what I heard, people who know about the subject, they talk a lot about water, right? Water contamination and. Now that said, ask yourself that question. Folks, this is a conspiracy theory, but boy, it's horrifying. Ask yourself that question. Why don't they take that data center and move it away from the population on a highway or something like that, 10 miles away, 20 miles away, where there's no population and so on, and put it there? But they insist on keeping that within the city, right? City limits, right? Here and there. It's riddled, the urban areas, right? All over the urban areas. I mean, they can take it out. Fiber communication is very fast, folks. Like I think it's like certain microseconds. I remember from the telecommunications days when I was doing telecommunications and reading and studying. I think it's like certain microseconds per thousand fiber miles, right? So communication is no problem, not at all, right? So why do they insist on putting all these data centers into the cities? And if you go out, like way outside of the city, you see a lot of those buildings that that are distribution centers and so on and so forth. They're away from the city and they don't produce such emissions, right? So back to the conspiracy theory and the horror of it all, right? So now this here is controlled by cars that are running around you, right? And the data center now, AI data center, communicates directly with it, right? So there is this AI master, right, sitting here and controlling humans and their devices. But why so close, right? Well, because now here is the other conspiracy theory part. I'm conspiring now, right? What if they have to be close to our brains, right? Because I heard and you heard that they're doing work on human nervous system, right? Powering up those data centers. What the heck, right? So why do they have to be close to human population is what I'm asking you. There is something beyond just data center being in a city or something else. They are making sure they're close to that. Better still, they're close to that as well. So your personality is connected to where that data center is, whether it's waves, brain waves, and so on and so forth. I kid you not, folks. I think you really ought to look at that very carefully. And honestly, I myself would want to be at least 10 miles away from any of those data centers. If not, I will make sure to be like 20 miles away from, period. I will live in a rural area. I will go anywhere, but not into a place where there are data centers, those data centers being erected. Folks, Trump paid $500 billion for 3 guys to just establish those data centers, right? $500 billion on account of taxpayers and stuff like that, when people are struggling and single mothers are losing SNAP benefits and so on, which cost really nothing, right? He is subsidizing. I mean, the government under Trump and Obama, two joined at the hip, right? And somewhat up to a degree under Biden's, right? They're basically subjecting the whole country into, now the country has become a subsidy for those very few guys, right? So that's what I'm saying. I mean, you can build on this theory a lot, and some of it is not, all of it is true. The EMF itself is a problem, but there is far deeper connection to it, into your person, who you are and what you think and what you do and what you buy and what to vote for and so on and so forth. This is a problem, folks. This is really a problem. I really hope you consider that. Let me show you what I do. Give me a second. So here's what I do. That's the phone. I switch it off, right? Only when I need it, right? And remember, 50 years ago, you didn't have that. You were living fine, right? So I switch it off, right? I put it like this. Turn it around, right? Two layers, 3 layers, 4 layers. Good, it's safe now, right? No? It communicates through the end. I mean, the communications frequency is like fog, right? The fog, right? It's like fog, right? And I did this, right? But here still communicates through here. So I do this as well, fold it from the other end, and then I test it against my USB connection or Bluetooth connection in my car. You raise it like this, communication goes back even though it's folded. You squeeze those two ends and then it stops, right? You have to test. So what do? I get another one, now the other end, right? There you go. Is that safe? 99%. Do you use Faraday material? I don't trust that anymore. Unless you do know about it, right? But then if I have a chance, I would get some kind of acrylic, acrylic box, right? Or the material that the lining in the fridge, and then cover it as well. Then you're safe. Then you're safe. Use it whenever you need it, and then cover it, right? Otherwise, somebody is doing all kind of things, life changing and political scene changing and everything changing on your behalf while you're not looking. And those data centers in here, like, ask yourself that question. Why don't they just take it outside of the city, like 10 miles outside of the city? That's easy, right? And then land is cheaper and secure and so on. No, no, no. There's something else, folks. Like I'm telling you about conspiracy theory, but this is far beyond that. Trust me, things are not good, folks. Things are not looking good with this AI. Here's what I'm gonna say. This is like communism, right? You know, communism, and word has it that like it stayed for what 70 years or something like that until 1991. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe 70 years, right? And all those people, those who founded communism and did so and so in communism, and they were the rulers, the Bolsheviks, right? You know who they are, right? The Bolsheviks, right? Uh, they really didn't survive it. Eventually, it came to hunt them. I'll remind you, Gorbachev, who is really Jewish, right, came into a conference in Europe or somewhere else when the Soviet Union was being broken up, right? And then he looked, and there are bottles of waters and drink on the table, and he couldn't resist it. He grabbed one. He tried to unscrew the cap, and he didn't know how to do that, so he put it back. So he's a Bolshevik, right? And he didn't even know how to, you know, how to open and screw a cap on a bottle of a drink that he really wished to have, right? You dudes, you dummies, you have no idea what's coming with this AI. Some people are trigger happy because they want billions, right? Uh, on your account. Hmm. Oh, wait until the AI controls your billions, right? The stolen billions, let's put it this way. Well, my friends, I can say so much here. You can build on this theory, and it's a conspiracy theory, right? But it's not exactly something good, right? It's not exactly something good. No, 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 no. I also have a feeling it's too late. I hope not like positive or uh, totally confident that this is going to go fully fledged, become fully fledged. I don't know about that, but I think I have a feeling that we're a little bit late, right? And and that's take communism, and that's AI, but it's worldwide, and nobody's gonna survive it, right? Uh, uh, Careful of that. Right now, you have accounts and you don't know about, right? And they're dealing on your behalf, doing business and buying and selling on your behalf, and those super billionaires are trigger happy, right? They're taking the harvest of this virtual communism, right? Virtual, those two brothers, Stalin and Lenin, they're now virtual. Well, so if a when you move into a place, make sure there are no data centers there or will be built, right? And if they do, stay away at least minimum, bare minimum 5 miles, 10 miles, 20 miles is better, right? And then ask yourself that question: why don't they, the data center builders, go 20 miles out? Just think about it. Okay, that's all I want to say. And those guys, folks, the one I'm just talking about here, uh, uh, they have no humanity in them. Those guys who are driving this, they have no humanity. They don't care. For them, you stole $1 trillion, and then there's that a dollar that you learn off in the pocket of a child in Zimbabwe. They go destroy the country just to take it. So they don't care about you, population here, what happens to you, and so on. So long you become a virtualized person. So you as a citizen, you are an human, an individual. You are virtualized as a person in your device and in your in those AI data centers. And the rest is up to you. Have a nice day, my friends, and I really hope it doesn't come to a fruition. But you know what? I said on my Twitter account, which is suspended now, and that's fine. You know, I really regretted it being having an account on Twitter in the first place. Um, that they used to speak of apocalypse as nuclear war and so on. Well, apocalypse I think is AI. That's what I said there. Have a nice day, my friends, and take care. Spread this. This is your friend Osa Galleon. I live in Illinois, the suburbs of Chicago, a little bit far from Chicago, but I lived in the suburbs of Chicago, and that's where I live now. Have a nice day. Bye now.